Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the chance and opportunity. And like I said, around Christmas time, we will be doing a giveaway. I don't celebrate pagan holidays, not something I do, but I know a lot of people do celebrate Christmas, so we're gonna do a little cash giveaway for 4 people. Um, who is he talking to? Who is my son talking to, y'all? But anyway, what up, YouTube? What up? What up? What up? So today we getting into Trump versus DC. People protesting. People mad about him sending in the National Guard to protect the government buildings. People mad at ICE. Why? Well, I voted to get these damn illegals out of here. Now that's what I did. He doing exactly what I expect him to do as far as them illegals to get them the fuck up out of here. So my thing is, if you so concerned about the illegals, take them into your household. You clothe, feed them, find them a place. So you take care of that shit out your own damn pocket, not mine. That's all I'm saying. We can't go nowhere to another country and expect to be taken care of. You gonna be homeless. Facts. Fuck that. Now, you so concerned about them and they deporting all this and that. Ain't no way in hell you've been in the country 30, 40, 50 years and you haven't gotten your status corrected. All you have to do is pay the money. It is expensive to be legal. But if you've been here 40, 30, 50 years and you ain't did that shit, it's mind boggling to me. That would be your first thing to get yourself and then you'll get your children instead of being dreamers or DACA. Once you legal, your children are legal. This shit is insane to me. I don't understand this bullshit. I really don't. Shit, you concerned about them, you pay for them. Because I want them to fuck up out of here. But anyway, there was a lawsuit against Trump's Washington National Guard deployment, and it exposes the country's deep partisan divide. A partisan battle is playing out in Washington courtroom that could decide the fate of President Donald Trump's federal law enforcement intervention in the nation's capital. Dozens of states have taken sides in the lawsuits challenging the open-ended National Guard deployment in Washington, D.C. Well, a judge just ruled he won. He can send the National Guard to y'all nitwit Democrats. Y'all some hoes. That's all I got to say. With their support failing along party lines, it shows how law enforcement operation in the nation's capital remains a flashpoint in the Republican president's broadening campaign to send the military to cities across the country and underscores the deepening divisions over the move. Well, he won. The lawsuit was filed September 4 by Washington, D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab. Hold on one second. Lenny, I'm live. So I'll call you back. Challenging the troops administration's use of National Guard in heavily Democratic cities as part of emergency order issued by Trump to stem what the president called out of control crime. Although the order has lapsed, hundreds of troops are still in the city, which is seeking a preliminary injunction to stop the deployment. Y'all lost. With the legal action launched against deployments to Portland, Portland is out of control. Them people, they went out there butt naked at the ICE facility. Only white folks do that kind of shit. I'm just saying. And Chicago, Antifa, George Soros must be paying y'all a hell of a lot of money to make a fool out of y'all self. He got to be giving y'all some millions to do some dumb shit like that to be naked. Um, Oregon and Chicago. The case will be closely watched. Well, like I said, Trump won. He can't send the National Guard in. 23 states have aligned with the Trump administration stance that the president has the authority to bring in the National Guard, while 22 states back Washington's position. The 23 states supporting the administration have Republican attorney generals, while the other 22 have Democrats. So, yeah, it is a divide. It is un American you use the military in any of our cities absent truly extraordinary circumstance, and a threat against one city is a threat to all of us, Oregon. And the way they done tore up Portland, Oregon, you should be grateful. The way they have torn up, and for months they wouldn't even let the police in to control of the city. You crazy as hell. The state supporting Washington said in their finding that the deployment of the National Guard units without the city's consent is unlawful. It's in the Constitution, and he used title whatever it was. It's in the Constitution that they could deploy the National Guard. Has to be for 30 days. That part is in the Constitution, nitwit. This district belongs to the people as a whole, and its safety is critical to our constitutional republic, the 23 state says. Hundreds of troops are still deployed in Washington, which began in August, that led to roughly 2,000 troops from District of Columbia National Guard and 8 states patrolling the areas. Presidents have authority to call up the National Guard under a variety of circumstances, including a repel, a rebellion, or invasion. That's why he he instituted the Insurrection Act for y'all nitwits. So anyway, he won that. So then, before the lawsuit, they were saying that President Trump's recent actions in Washington D.C. are abuse of power and threaten public safety for all. Well, we're gonna look into what the residents say because they said something totally fucking different. Hold on a moment. I'm trying to get to my DC. Oh, I see he on the phone. He liked to debate. I don't know where he got that from. Cause I can't stand talking to him. He get on my nerves. Okay, here we go. So let's get off into some of these clips.
Have a seat before. My name is Jason. I served in the Army for 14 years. I deployed to Iraq. I know what a war zone looks like. DC looks like a war zone. Let me tell you about it. Yesterday, I did an announcement that West Virginia had announced 300 to 400 troops to join AT Guard. After that, we had notifications that South Carolina was at 100, Ohio was sent 150. May not seem like much, but in the big picture it is. DC has 3,300 police officers. Reports indicate that there's about 1,500 federal agents on the ground. What that means is in the very small space of DC, there's about 6,300 security personnel on the ground. Now let me tell you why that's important. DC is small. It's only 61 square miles. So, doing some comparison of concentration of troops and security, some analysis with AI firm numbers. So with the 6,300 security personnel DC, that's 103 personnel per mile. In Los Angeles in 1992, after the Rodney King riots, where there was arson, looting, massive rioting, very significant violence, the grand total was about 13,500 troops, but that was 29 troops per mile. Los Angeles ordered this up, then a mass personnel being 28 per mile. So compare that to the density of troops within DC, and you can see how this is an occupation, and we're surrounded, and supposedly more are coming. Here's two things that's dangerous. Starting now, the National Guard is allowed to carry their weapons. That could be a 9mm handgun or a 16. Rifles are designed for war. Troops, Army troops, are trained to kill. They're not trained to injure. They're not trained in de-escalation. They are trained to kill. On top of that, with the DC Home Rule law, the president only has 30 days to be in charge of the police. He has requested an extension. There is legislation in Congress that would give him infinite power that the president could decide when. This is insane. Please spread the word. So Stack, link is in the bio where I have a lot of information and videos. It is time for you to prepare, especially if you're in Washington, D.C. See you there. Hey, friends.
So some people do feel that way. I don't, because we're going to listen to somebody else's, how the black folks feel in Washington, D.C. The black folks, they tired of crime. Shit, tired of not being a gunshots.
And we are strongly supporting their efforts to stop this scheme, to take over the police department. And
Shut up, black bully bitch.
Nothing more than illegitimate power grab.
We need all the protection that we can get in the city, because the city is really dangerous. A person like me at this age, I have to make sure to come home before sundown.
Now, however, I also talked to a relative, a young girl who was recently shot in the arm at a courtyard on the 800 block of Yuma Street. And she tells me that she welcomes this new executive order, saying that if President Trump can make the streets safer and easy, she's all for it. As for that young girl who had surgery today at a hospital.
Well, needless to say, Democrats are truly beginning to F around and find out in Washington.
This is Vince Dale. I like him. Let me go get my
It was a
cigarettes.
good idea to throw Subway sandwiches at federal officers in order to say something bad about Trump. That's an interesting strategy, to say the least. Or the national Democrat politicians in leadership who apparently think it's a good idea to take the political position of defending and downplaying crime. This is not a situation that's playing out very well for them, and it's only getting worse because the Trump federalization is working. It's objectively doing good, beneficial things for the city, as we see the scenes today of homeless encampments being cleaned up and destroyed and demolished in our nation's capital, to which you might be surprised, or maybe not really, to find out that liberals are protesting this as well. That is right. We have angry Democrats who are upset over the fact that crazy homeless people and homeless encampments and tents are being removed from their own city and their own neighborhoods. I just have to say, really, I mean, take these positions nationwide, see how they do for you. You certainly refuse to learn any lessons from the past. So we'll give you a couple of updates in today's video on this. Again, what happened to Mr. Subway sandwiches, what's happening right now in the approval rating, the polling when it comes to how the American people actually feel about this, and of course, homelessness now finally being removed from places like Union Station, which is a beautiful area of DC, and last time I was there back in 2024, you're literally stepping over homeless people. Here we go once again in a situation where, figuratively speaking, Donald Trump is pushing us toward a better America, and in a sense, again figuratively, he basically has to drag the liberals kicking and screaming to a better America and a better future, whether they like it or not. So we'll tell you all about it. First though, folks, do us a favor as usual. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're almost at 500k subs. Help us get there. Smash that red button. With that said, I'd like to first of all point out, I think when it comes to the disconnect between the liberal narrative and what people are actually feeling and living, not just in Washington, D.C., I think this is important, but many urban centers across...
Oh shit, I done hit the wrong button. Hold on, wait a minute.
Extremely serious problem. And John Heilman, we've had people before put this in racial terms. This is, I must say, this is one thing that Democrats got so wrong about crime. So wrong about crime. Let me just read the Washington Post here. There are stark divides among lines of race and income in the poll, with black residents and lower income residents significantly more worried about crime than white residents and those with higher income.
Facts.
As
Facts.
last year, black women are among the most concerned, with 65% in crime is a very or extremely serious, compared with 82% who said the same thing last year.
Is that really a shock to anyone? No,
Right.
it's actually common sense, right?
Exactly.
If there's disproportionate crime, people who live in black neighborhoods are the most concerned about it, and they actually do want to do something about it, okay? It's not somehow equality or freedom or whatever to have a bunch of crime taking place in neighborhoods.
Yes.
Should Sanders say yesterday, as a black woman in America who doesn't live in a black neighborhood most likely, we need to think public safety.
Look at this. This DC.
Replay, by the way.
Hold on.
Let's go to the initial review. You would think, by the way, that if you're gonna do this, which just doesn't seem smart, I don't even know where he got this idea from, that you would at least know that you're a fast runner, Needless to say, I don't think this guy ever stood a chance. All right, that's a pretty pathetic getaway, frankly. But, okay, nonetheless, there you have it. Now, it turns out, that this, just Democrat icon, this is like Omar Abrego Garcia, this is George Floyd, individual. Turned out it's not just a mid-range liberal, yeah, he worked for the Department of Justice. So
Wow.
it was a new hiree at the DOJ, right? Probably.
Wow, well, he lost that job.
Who was not fired yet. I'm sure in response he will be fired now. But doesn't that just tell you everything you need to know about, first of all, the type of people who are working in our bureaucratic agencies, right? Because we were told during the Doge efforts that,
wow.
these are civil servants. They're
Well, he
patriots.
lost that job. I know
It's
he
obviously
did.
something that shouldn't be a...
Another Humvee there. This is what you can expect over the next 30 days and possibly a lot longer after that. Yesterday, President Trump said that they are planning to extend their position of NPD and
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but get it together.
Officers Park Police. There were vehicles here just a little earlier. This is one of the areas of focus that we have heard. Crime around Union Station, people who are loitering outside. I will tell you, as somebody who walks this route all the time, it does seem like there are fewer people,
just sort of hanging around?
Now, of course, we come back here to the million-dollar question of who could possibly be opposed to that, right? Not having homeless people around our capital. Not dealing with weird people loitering who are trying to scam.
Okay, you done with that. This is the turn.
There's been a great deal of discussion about crime in the district. And the other day, I wanted to get a sense of what is actually happening in the District of Columbia. I asked for the number of teens who have been shot and killed by gunfire. Teens, everyone under the age of 20. In 24, we have, I believe I said it was, how many? Yeah, as you can see in 2024, we have 29 individuals who were shot and killed in the district, all teens, some as young as 3 years of age, okay, because of gunfire. Some cases are solved, some of them are not solved. But what's clear to me is that there is a whole community that is suffering because of the violent crime in this district.
Facts.
And anyone who wants to tell me the crime is down and that we don't need an emergency focus on crimes of violence, all they need to do is take a look at this and talk to the loved ones and the family members
Facts.
of these individuals, all shot and killed long before their time. Now, over here are the individuals who are shot and killed under the age of 20, all teenagers. And the
That's
number
25.
16.
Black. All black.
I don't know how many of these cases have been solved, but what I can tell you is, again,
All
it's
black.
guns on the streets. It's individuals who are not concerned about accountability, who don't have any reason to fear law enforcement. I am here today to tell you that on behalf of all of these victims, all of these families, that they're going to be accountable, that we are going to make a difference, and that we are going to make sure that law enforcement is focused on these innocent, now silent victims of crime in the district. Anywhere else? All I know is we rank in, that's 2 years ago, we're one of the fourth highest, we're the fourth highest in the United States. I don't need any more statistics. All I need are people to recognize that these were vibrant human beings, cut down.
All black.
because of
All
illegal
black.
guns. I guarantee you that every one of these shootings was with an illegal gun. All right? And I guarantee you that every one of these individuals was shot and killed by someone who felt that they were never going to be caught. And I want to send a message that we are going to catch you, that we're 16, 17, we're going to bring you into the justice system. No more of this DC, council, if they're under 16, or if they're under 19, or if they're under 25, we give them probation. No more. I'm done with that.
Not for murder. Not for murder.
Talking about right there, but what can you conceivably do as the DC U.S. Attorney to address those laws, address the DC crime lab, which is not accredited, and also at the same time address some of the prosecutorial issues you talked about?
Okay. Those are great questions. Number one, the DC Crime Lab is now accredited and validated very recently. So Dr. Diaz has communicated that to us, and we are working with the DC Crime Lab. Our concern is making sure that we have enough people who are able to analyze the DNA, all of the testing that we need to have done. That's number one. Number two, as it relates to prosecution, I have been very clear that Title 16 is not enough. Under Title 16, if you are 16 or 17 years of age, we can get you for rape 1, murder, robbery 1, burglary 1. If you shoot someone and you kill them, station because the state attorney general is family court rehabilitation. Now, I was a family court judge in New York for a short period of time. The mission there is not punishment; it's rehabilitation, as evidenced by. Do we have those posters? Yeah. We have
But
a poster.
anyway, Trump ain't playing with the people. Okay.
Trump's brazen DC power grab feels personal. Because it is. Tell us more.
Well, look, I think that Donald Trump is deploying a very familiar playbook that has been used in the past, and he's just updating it, for cable news and social media. He's painting a distorted picture of urban chaos,
Now, all the pictures of the dead from 2024 and 2025 was all black. You ain't seen not one white face up there. It is a problem.
the competency of local black leadership, and that he's pushing for federal intervention that strips away local control. I believe that Donald Trump is using the issue of juvenile crime in the District of Columbia, and I will just note, for the last 10 years that Mayor Bowser has been mayor, crime is constantly cited as the #1 issue when residents are polled. And so I have definitely not suggested that no one cares about crime. It's personal for me. I'm literally talking to you from my home in Washington, D.C. The issue is that Trump is using this as a pretext, specifically that this is a juvenile crime, as a pretext for his authoritarian overreach. And because of the law in Washington, D.C., that there is federal control over the District of Columbia, in some regard, it makes it easier for him to do. But to be very clear, I think that the president has been very consistent. And when he says that next is Chicago, New York, L.A., Oakland, again, all cities with black mayors in states that have...
Well, those are the areas with black population. I'm sorry, I'm black. With the highest amount of fucking crime. Shit. Just because you poor don't mean you can't be safe. Damn. The fuck? Go out there and kill other people. Shit. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying in anger. I'm just saying. I'm not advocating anything.
Governors, I would...
No. Oakland had an Asian mayor that just literally got ousted. Y'all got to start fact checking these people because crime is rampant, homelessness is rampant, and the police can't do anything because their hands are tied, and the justice system over in California allows criminals to continue to get free even when the police do their job. They actually have a problem with lack of police over in Oakland. And the actual mayor is
This is Anton Daniels.
What are we talking about, y'all?
Right.
Are y'all listening to the same thing I'm listening to? Y'all paying attention? Are y'all in the cities? She's saying that it's a crime problem. That when polled, black people continue to ignorantly vote for the same mayors over and over again.
Right, that part.
Consistently says the crime is the #1 thing that they are concerned about. We're in Washington, D.C. Trump's in and says, listen, enough. We gave y'all an opportunity to be able to fix it. This is the nation's capital. People should be able to come and visit the nation's capital because I visited it. And the first time that I visited Washington, D.C. and went to the White House, and I went multiple different times, a block away is Tent City. It's crime everywhere. People are crazy. And so now we have a fudging of the numbers. People are misrepresenting how they're reporting crime.
Facts.
Underreporting. They're down 8 police officers in Washington alone. Chicago 2,000, Los Angeles over 1,000. The budget can't recruit any more police officers. Overtime is out of control, and so why wouldn't you seek federal help, especially in a place like Oakland?
It don't make no fucking sense.
Are basically saying,
it don't make no fucking sense.
Already now that Trump is actually utilizing utilizing the people that already are being paid by taxpayer dollars. Why wouldn't you leverage that? Why wouldn't you utilize it? Why wouldn't you get on top of it? Why are you complaining? What are you talking about? Authoritarian rule. He was voted on by the people to come in and clean up the United States of America. He's done more in the last 8-9 months than any president before us, and they're complaining about the fact that we are making our safer when that is the number one reason community and what they wanted to be cleaned up. Man, this is crazy. And Timu, what's her name?
It's
the black chick that
crazy.
used to have the blonde hair. That
It
got
is
fired. Y'all know
absolutely
who she is.
fucking
I don't even remember her.
insane.
That's how memorable she is with her bad shows. The Timu version of her is now sitting here.
I don't know if you saw the video about
This
what's happening
Anton
in DC
Daniel.
and how the police basically raided a black neighborhood, but black people are under attack as usual. Okay. Black people need white allies in person. Okay. Are on the internet, you know, we can't just have that. Okay, prove it. Okay. If you see something happening that's wrong, you should speak up about it. Black lives have always been on the line from the time, and just I'm sick about it, but I will never stop talking about it because we're tired of always being the ones that want to work, always being the ones that's on the front lines, protesting, trying to fight for our own rights. If y'all feel the way that we do, really care about us, do something. That's it. I mean, we can only protect ourselves to a degree. And black people, stand down, okay? Stand down. Try not, and I'm trying to be.
What? Wait.
Don't make no sense.
Hold on. Because I do want to play the full video in its entirety without being interrupted, but we just got to really have a come to Jesus moment right now. And thank you guys for getting along with it. We got to have a come to Jesus moment right now. Wait a minute. After the election, black people, black women specifically, because I ain't seen no black men, I seen a couple of some, but in mass, black women said that, you know what, this y'all fight, we don't want nothing to do with nothing, and we just gonna chill. That's what y'all said. And I don't understand, did they raid a black neighborhood? Or did they raid a crime-infested area and make sure that children are able to walk down the street so we can remove the guns, the drugs, and degenerate behavior off of the streets of D.C., which is very close to the White House and the Treasury and where Congress convenes? What is this under attack thing? When you are abiding by the law and you don't have drugs, because nobody is seeing them kick in the doors of people that are law-abiding citizens that pay their taxes and go to work every day. This is not an unjust thing. We know who the drug dealers are and the killers are and the pedos are, and we know who the people that are doing the most egregious things inside of the community, but for some reason, we keep trying to play the victim. Nobody is under attack. You know what's under attack? Under that crime. You want inside of your communities, well, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta root out the degenerate crime people that are committing.
Facts.
I dodged the violent criminals and bloodthirsty gangs to come here this morning to say I find Trump's takeover and occupation of D.C. annoying. And I know annoyed isn't the emotion people expect right now. People are either furious at this military occupation or happy that this blue liberal city is finally. And there's contradiction. This extreme urgency and national embarrassment. The troops deployed here are more likely to be bored than busy, perhaps guarding tourist traps and unlicensed ice cream trucks near the Washington Monument. On the other hand, this is being portrayed as an extreme excess of executive power, and yet most of it's legal, and to be honest, it's hard to even find evidence that anything is going on. It's vibes-based authoritarianism. As a political scientist and 8-year DC resident, I find this whole thing to be a paradox. Nothing is happening here, and yet at the same time, all this matters a great deal for the future of our entire republic, not just Washington, D.C. But first, come on, I gotta.
So he must not, ain't nothing ever happened to him. U.S. Marshals rearrest D.C.'s notorious Subway sandwich assault. And he worked for the DOJ. And he worked for the DOJ. Well, he fucked around and found out, didn't he? And lost his job. Here go the black people that's happy.
What about the idea that this is, even if one supports this effort, it's a band-aid, right? It's not like hiring 500 additional cops in D.C.
And I think they do have a staffing shortage in the D.C. Police Department. They need to fix that. I don't know what's authoritarian about carjack. Nobody in their right mind believes Washington, D.C. is safe. And to say the president's trying to help us keep people from getting murdered and carjacked and we have to stop this authoritarian push, it's just sort of ridiculous rhetoric. These Democrats don't know what to do with themselves. Every time Donald Trump tries to do something, they reflexively feel the need to oppose it without thinking through the political implications for themselves.
You think Democrats are taking the bait?
Well, I think they're acting like here. I saw a guy get murdered in Union Station in February at 4 in the afternoon. I saw the body hit the floor at the later on the second floor. And everybody who lives there knows it's a serious problem. You have extra islanders. They've arrested criminals. They're getting illegal guns off the street. People feel safer. Tourists feel safer. What is the problem?
The problem is that Trump is fixing it.
Yep.
And I believe these Democrats know and understand that once it's all said and done, people are going to see that, hey, Trump fixed the problem, and it's going to make Democrats look absolutely terrible. And that is part of the reason why they're coming out. But also on the flip side, goodness gracious, I can't even talk. I think Trump is good genius. Right? He hopped on the issue and hopped on the 80% side and watched the Democrats sprint towards the 20. And he's laughing the whole time.
Almost dropped myself.
Even though mainstream media wants to try to push
this is Doc Rich. I love him, but let's get to.
You don't have to tell me, but where do you work?
I work at a law firm.
Oh, what? So you're an attorney?
No, but I assist.
Oh, cool. So what are your thoughts on today? We're talking about D.C. crime rates. Is it safe to live in D.C.? Do you agree with President Trump federalizing for 30 days to sort of stamp down on crime? What are your thoughts?
I agree with it. I was born in a day with children as young as 3 years old being shot. I mean, where does that happen? I think it's a bad idea to fear what this president is doing. I mean,
right.
He actually lives in the city now. I mean, come on. He would be foolish, I think, to ignore things like that.
how the police are being shot. People being shot on the bus. I mean, that happened in upper northwest Washington, D.C. So, I mean, I think I
People
agree.
in upper northwest and like the areas, because it's hard finding actual DC residents here in this area. It's mostly like bureaucrats and whatnot. It's not the real DC people. Do they generally support this? Do they feel like they want crime to be under control, or are they against it?
I do. I believe that most people that live here, that work hard every day and have families, they want the crime rate to be brought under control. They want the situation of, like I said, children being shot, seniors being assaulted. They want that under control. And I believe that this is the best thing that has happened to this city in a very, very long time for the president
Amen.
to take control and, of the police, of the crime. I think it's a great idea. I really, really do.
Question for me now. Where in DC? I'm new to DC, and I actually live in Virginia on the borderline in Arlington. If I wanted to go talk to real DC people, not press lobbyists, not people working, people actually born and raised, and actually ask questions like this.
I would say, and then eventually,
Can't even so much as buy a $2 bottle of soap without asking an employee to unlock the display case. And the city keeps saying crime is down, but do you feel safe?
No, I don't think so. Crime is down. Crime is up.
And there you go.
And there you go.
Whenever you talk about crime in D.C., Democrats' reflexive answer is,
So, I mother-freaking told you so.
Wait a minute, let me get back.
You're not a criminal.
Hold on. Wait a minute, let me get here.
and there you go. And there you go. Basis, so they never get bothered. No, the real individuals who are living, bro, crime is definitely up. That is crazy. But, once again, I've got more.
So everybody tripping about Trump releasing the National Guard out there in D.C. Everybody tripping about Trump military in them towns. No. If you're not a criminal, if you're not out there in them streets doing anything you ain't got no business doing, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're not the gunslinger, if you're not the street runner, if you're not the one that's out there notorious in those streets, if you're not the one putting tears in parents' eyes for no reason, for stuff, if you're not out there terrorizing people, just wreaking havoc on the streets, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're not the problem, don't make yourself the problem. When the military hit them streets and they start grabbing people by the neck, I'll be right there on my porch with a nice margarita, sitting there chilling, saying, I told you so. I freaking told you so.
That part.
I told you. This foolishness out here in these streets, they ain't playing around. You got some people need terrible life choices in need.
Be right there on my porch with a nice
Get to struggle and work hard or try to work hard to make a living. And y'all so worried about how they come in with the sheets and all that. Like, yeah, bro, because the YN, the young kids, the young generation is out of hand, bro. It is too out of hand now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't commit. So when I see them and shit, and I'm like, cool, like, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, I'm just driving past, like, they arm me for not doing nothing. I don't think so, bro. Like, that's the thing. Law enforcement don't fuck with people for no fucking reason, bro. Like, that shit happens.
Well, that's not true.
Fucking occasion, but it's 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, you done did some shit to get yourself in trouble with the law. Like, I hate people, bro. Hey, he spoke some facts. If you are not out committing any crimes,
Listen. Some black people is glad that he doing what he doing. And then here she go, don't even know what's going on. This your
With a
DC.
police chief like this, it's no wonder DC has an out of control.
This is soldiers of finance.
DC Metropolitan Police Department Chief Pamela Smith, a diversity pick herself, who seems to struggle with even the most
over poll questions. What does that mean? So the executive order is clear.
The mayor had to step in. She don't know what the chain of command is. That was sad.
Not to be able to understand what chain of command means. Her, along with Muriel Bowser, the woman in yellow, that's the mayor of D.C. They are involved in a criminal conspiracy to lie to the American people about the crime statistics in that city.
Yep, they got caught.
This is happening in Baltimore, Chicago, Philadelphia,
Yep.
New York. There is a concerted effort, and I'm going to prove it to you, to
Yep.
about what's really going on with crime to try to make these blue Democrat cities look safer than they are. And it's dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, it's deleterious to property values, because you got a government telling you one thing, and you're walking down the street being assaulted. Police officers are taking more calls than ever. More carjackings are occurring than we've ever seen before, okay? But they're telling you crime is down. Some people should go to jail for this, okay? Now, here she is, the incompetent DI, police chief of D, who does not know what chain of command means. Here she is. She'll lie to your face.
I am the chief of police of the Metropolitan Police Department, and chief of police, I am certainly the one who champions to ensure that we reduce violent crime across our city. That's why the mayor appointed me to do that job, which is why you've seen the reduction in crime across our city. This effort only helps us to enhance and build upon that.
This woman is lying. D.C. is the very police department that has been declassifying felony, violent criminal acts down to misdemeanor. All right, look, it's not just speculation, it's not just conjecture, it's not just the local D.C. news media that's on to this. Here is Gregory Pemberton, we'll hear from next. He is the head of the D.C. Police Union. I think he would know what's going on down there. Don't you?
It is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but we worked quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why we have seen a huge decrease in crime.
A huge decrease in crime. Let's bring in the chair of the D.C. Police Union, Gregory Pemberton, and he joins us this morning. Gregory, great to have you here. I guess my first question is, why do you support the president's takeover?
Absolutely, thanks for having me. We completely agree with the president here that crime in the district is out of control and something needs to be done about it. This concept that crime is down is really an old trope.
That makes it appear that crime is going down. Because it was only black folks that was slaughtered by other black folk.
Officers know that we're going call to call to call for armed carjackings, stabbings, robberies, shootings, homicides, and the crime isn't going anywhere. And so we welcome the assistance, and whether that's federal agents or the National Guard, we'll use it. We'll do whatever we can to get bags off the streets and try to keep citizens of the district safe. Our concern here is that this is a temporary measure. This is only going to last for 30 days, and then the feds and the National Guard will be on their way, and we'll be left holding the bag. Our agency right now is an authorized strength of 4,000 sworn officers, and we're currently sitting at 3,180 with more than 800 vacancies for the position of sworn police officer. And that's the main reason why we can't keep these streets safe. The department relies on 2 million hours of overtime a year to try to close this gap.
All right, so you heard him. I'll remove from him in a minute. Yes, it has destroyed the police department. They are at about 75% of their strength, okay? Now, everybody likes to talk about defund the police. Well, let's take it to the furthest extent. Defund 100%. Let's get
facts. Give facts. Then what?
If you are a law-abiding citizen, you won't be able to go about your day the way you do now. It'll be about survival, okay? Because the criminal element has already shown what they will do when you just get a 25% decrease, roughly 25% decrease in police personnel, okay? Yeah, I like law and order because I like to know that there is a deterrent out there. So when my wife and my nieces go out and about throughout the day, that they have some modicum of safety, okay? And anybody saying otherwise is a damn lie or crazy. So you heard Muriel Bowser continuing on with this trope. Oh, we're seeing drastic decreases in crime. I can't see how she has the temerity to stand up before the American people and perpetrate and perpetuate that lie, especially when she knows at the end of the day, this harms her predominantly black city. Now, she'll be the first to get up there and black power, black this, black that, I'm blackly black, but she'll tell this lie and endanger the lives and property of her citizens. And again, don't you find it somewhat coincidental that all of these cities all of a sudden started reporting these decreases in crime? It's almost as if they went to a mayor's conference and got some messaging about how to make this happen. But look, as far as what's going on in D.C., the documented and verified declassification of violent felonies down to misdemeanors. Look, they're going to hang this one cop out to dry for it. But we know it comes from, he didn't just decide to start doing this on his own, right? Let's go back to Pemberton.
You know, D.C. Police Commander Michael Pulliam is under investigation for allegedly changing crime statistics to make it appear that violent crime has fallen considerably. So I guess the question is, has crime fallen or not? And based on what you just told us, it feels that crime has not fallen.
I don't think so, and that's the very aspect of the story that doesn't seem to be reported, is that they have a command staff official who's alleged to have been going into police databases and changing felonies to misdemeanors to try to keep these crime numbers down. And I know Commander Pulliam, and he's a stand-up guy. What I suspect is that this is a pattern of practice, and this is something that's been ordered from the top to make sure the commanders are managing the crime stats to make it appear the crime is lower than it is, which is a disservice to the city, it's a disservice to the officers, and above all, it's a disservice to the victims of these crimes when we're not taking the proper police reports and investigating them and advocating for those proper resources.
All right, first of all, Pulliam is not a stand-up guy if he is manipulating crime statistics. And there's got to be a federal crime in there somewhere because the FBI takes that information and compiles its data on criminal activity, okay? So if you're lying, you're not just lying to the people, you're lying to federal law enforcement agencies. I'm sure there's a document somewhere that these people are signing off on, that's under penalty of perjury, I certify that this is correct. And if there isn't, then there damn well should be, okay? Listen, the other thing is...
Well, and he is under investigation as well, and I think he lost his job. I think I showed this one.
Stand with the people of Washington, D.C.
Oh, I did. Let me get rid of this. I can't stand Hakeem Jeffries. Black bull ass. Yep, I'm gonna have to do. Oh, I got a lot on this, cause he's still there. So we're gonna come back. I'm gonna show one more video. They say crime is down, huh? Here we go. Let's do this one. This is Cash Jordan. I love him.
Well, Trump takes over. Look at these people. Look at them go.
social media.
Look at him.
Showing problems going viral.
Look at
Several
this.
suspects seen sprinting down the street, arms full, thousands stolen stuff. Now DC's tracking down these
Look at all these
suspects.
people.
Got away with $20,000 worth of merch from this
They're all
out.
masked up.
That's more than my car.
DC cops say the suspects came into the Aloe around 7:30, grabbed what they could from the display racks, and ran off, hopping into a silver or gray Ford Edge with covered tags.
At least they buy American.
Crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
This Aloe, just the latest high-end athleisure store in Georgetown to be marketed. March 24th, cameras rolling inside Lululemon just suspects into the store just for noon and take off with what they can carry.
More popular brands, as it gets up in popularity, it makes sense that these things would happen.
Tuesday, 2 security
No, it
guards
doesn't make
spotted at
sense
the
that these things.
Right.
It's not the brand's fault the store got looted. No, it's the fault of people who won't lock up these criminals, which is why the mayor is gone. She's left, escaped. But look what happened just 5 days ago.
This video shows around 20 to 30 young people.
30 people.
The 24 tobacco wireless on the 1500 block of Benning Road. DC police say they arrived around 11:40
Look at
Friday
this
night,
place.
throwing items in and outside of the store. Video from an employee shows the aftermath.
This is terrible.
Items scattered everywhere. Police say multiple items were stolen and an employee suffered a
This
minor
place is
injury.
going to shut down.
On Saturday, customers stopped by to check in on the business that's only been open for around 2 months.
Damn.
See how they doing, because it's a nice
store.
There's no problem. So
This is why you can't have nice things. Places that are just crime, a new business. They see an empty storefront. They say, "Hey, it's a great opportunity. The rent's real low." And then they move in and find out why.
you just need to control the kids more. I'm sorry.
This is our community. This is our community that we're trashing. It's funky. It stinks.
It does.
The stores are dirty. And
Well, that's why
I don't
Trump
know.
is there now with the
This
cops.
is the sign the business has posted out front talking about looting, saying they plan to take action soon.
Good luck with
And
that.
speaking with people in the neighborhood, they tell me they're frustrated. They say
Yeah.
it's incidents like this that prevent the area from keeping businesses.
But I thought crime was
CVS
down.
closed. I know it's the Dollar Tree haven't been open sometime. I don't even know if they might open back.
Dollar Tree's
They hope our actions don't cause this convenience store to close as well. As far as a solution,
I feel like it should start at home.
Yep.
Children need to be watched more.
That's right.
These presents, not just vehicles.
But I thought crime was down. Everybody's saying that
Right.
Trump's doing the wrong thing by policing the nation's capital. They tell us it's the safest it's ever been. But as you're about to see, some of the neighborhoods here, they're overrun with lawlessness as well. Look at this. Runner, 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 runner. A runner.
We just got the fuck on there now.
They're chasing someone.
Who just ran, y'all? Just ran.
Yeah, everyone ran. Everyone that was committing crime. Look at this, a massive operation in this area. Don't tell me for a second that everyone lives here is outraged by this, because that means that everyone here is a criminal. You got a lot of good, law-abiding people living in these neighborhoods that are sick of this nonsense.
Facts. Facts.
Except for this guy littering, maybe. Something's happening. They're gonna take someone down.
He put this man in handcuffs with no reason. Hey, don't push him. Don't push them. And he had no reason to put this man
This is so dangerous, this house. They're just trying to calm everybody down. Yeah, that's right. You don't want to go to jail. Finally, we got some people here with brains that don't want to see that. They're going into this apartment building now. I wonder who's coming out of here. Oh, the guy's got a riot shield. The officer's got a riot shield. Another cop riot shield going in. Oh, they got this guy. The wagon. That's how many people they got.
But crime is down. But you got some residents that's happy as hell that Trump is there. Especially in Memphis. Especially in Memphis. Now that's a different breed in Chicago. I just gotta say that. But some people have it. Like, share, and subscribe.